Okay, let's get closer. November 27th, 2012, I was in a near-fatal car crash. It was straight up 6 p.m. November 27th, 2013, I graduated from beauty school. It was straight up 6 p.m. Weird, huh? I tried going back to other November 27ths in my life to see if there was a pattern. It's the birthday of a friend, but that's all I got. Not being one of those people who can clearly remember what they had for breakfast on, say, June 12th of 30 years ago. Hell, I can't remember where my car keys are when I'm holding them. Well, that date has no other significance for me other than I nearly died twice. The first entailed jaws of life, the trauma unit at Vanderbilt, surgery, walkers, and pain. Lots and lots of pain. But it also had pain pills. Good ones, the Rush Limbaugh kind. The other entailed girls who go to beauty school. Let that sink in for a moment. Me, in school with girls who are growing up in a time when, as babies, their first sentence is, "Where's my effing bottle?" And who think that Richard Nixon is the name of a character in Game of Thrones. The communication divide couldn't have been wider if I'd gone to school with humpback whales. I blame the aforementioned pills on my decision to go to school. That and post, pass, so long, and sayonara menopause. The side effects are roughly the same. One makes you think it's a good idea at 60 to enroll in beauty school, and the other sends you to the admissions office of beauty school. My first day of class, I met a young woman, a fellow student of glamour, who was on probation. Apparently, selling controlled substances to your coworkers at IHOP while on probation for violating your previous probation is not enough to prevent you from pursuing a career in aesthetics. A career in which, I might add, involves operating scary stuff like tweezers and pointy scissors. I know, it doesn't sound too scary, unless the operator of those is stoned and no longer has depth perception. Every day she would walk through the door, throw her books down in disgust because someone, usually a social worker or a probation officer, had the unmitigated gall to expect her to be somewhere else at some time that was clearly inconvenient to her full-time job of drug trafficking. This injustice would prevent her from being on time to class or having assignments completed or wearing shoes. I chose the field of aesthetics because I had a facial once. I'm glad in retrospect I hadn't used the same logic regarding a visit to the circus. I had visions only of an atmosphere of soft lighting, relaxing lavender-scented everything, while overhead speakers played Tibetan, chakra, New Agey harp music with ocean sounds. Much to my surprise, it turned out that aesthetics in the year of our Lord 2013 also meant applying wax to vaginas and anuses. One of my first careers in life was that of a nurse. A career chosen, I might add, while not under the influence of narcotics, but because my mother told me, you need to make your own damn money and not have to depend on any goddamn man to support you. She may have been a little bitter, but I digress. Anyway, as a nurse, and most especially as a labor and delivery nurse, I have seen more than my share of those previously mentioned lady parts. Those instances always involved the beginning of life, of a miracle I never got tired of witnessing. I even always wept a little. My tears over the vagina waxing were brought on by a much different emotion. They were more of the, what do you mean I can't get my tuition money back variety. Thus was I applying hot, hot, hot wax to the nether regions of ladies who wanted to go back to their super sexy days of prepubescence. I would pull in a most painful way every last follicle of hair from their lady garden, all while they texted their friends about where they were going for dinner that evening, or updating their Facebook status with, came from my Brazilian right after Pilates and hot yoga, yuck, LOL. Where's my effing bottle? Recovering from my accident meant struggling to walk again. I am a woman undaunted. Chariots of Fire theme music played on in my mind. I was Rocky Balboa, running up the steps of the Philadelphia Museum of Art in my walker with a little seat attached. Fast forward a few short months to me in the spa, attempting a shoulder and neck massage on a woman I think could have actually been a giant. I had to raise the armrest just to accommodate her love handles. But as I mentioned, I do persevere even when it's ridiculous to do so. So I managed to wedge my hands under her shoulder through sheer force of will. And there they stayed. I sweated. I pulled. She snored. At last I was able to pull free and land straight down onto the floor, taking the relaxing, lavender-scented bowl of hot water with me, and only slightly soaking my client, the sumo wrestler. The school did not expel me because, as I stated earlier, the admission standards in beauty school are a bit more flexible than Harvard's, or even those of the Community College of Toad Stump, Arkansas. The months passed and the humiliations were so commonplace as to be barely noticed. My peers, the girls who were younger than my car, practiced how to apply makeup to sagging skin, and lessons in just what to do with wrinkles became ever so much easier as they had a built-in model. I had the distinction of being the oldest student ever in that particular beauty school. Not like being crowned Queen of England, now is it? I scheduled a trip to Florida to visit my mother and her friends at church so someone would call me young lady. I visited nursing homes to bring cookies and show off my jaunty gait. I passed my test, I completed my 750 hours, and performed the required number of vagina waxings. I had done it. The night of graduation, my daughter came, the one who had been there 365 days earlier, riding with me in an ambulance. The sweet young girls and the felons who stood beside me, shoulder to shoulder when I did my first ear candling, told me I was an inspiration, and I was proud of myself. I did this thing. It was a decision born out of a fear of death coming too soon, of realizing that I had more years behind me than in front of me, of feeling the need to prove that I could still do stuff, that I was relevant. It was born out of all of that, and, you know, hydrocodone. And if I had to do it all over again, well, honestly, I wouldn't have. I'd have just learned Spanish with Rosetta Stone and joined the circus. But what the hell, you live and learn. I'm not sure what this November 27th will bring, but know this. I have a pot of hot wax and a license to use it.
Kathleen Cosgrove with a round of applause. I can't say anything because I almost opened a laundromat. This is like a few years ago, not like in the 80s.